Dear friends, welcome to the Wednesday Word on Wednesday the 22nd of October and to the 8th of my sabbatical reflections. After visiting Vienna, our interrailing journey took us to the glorious city of Florence, where we delighted in exploring the treasures of the Uffizi Gallery and the monastery of San Marco, Florentine wonders that I'd not visited before. While we were there, we discovered the home of an exotic, distant cousin of mine who lived in Florence in the late 19th century as the mistress of the renowned theatre set designer Edward Gorton Craig. She was, it seems, the inspiration for one of the characters in E.M. Foster's Room with a View. We wandered through the Bobley Gardens, enjoying their spectacular views over the city, and discovered a quiet square beside the Church of Santa Spiritu on the south side of the River Arno, where we lingered in the shade over delicious Italian meals. From Florence, we hired a car and we drove south to Todi in Umbria, where we had rented a small villa from a Burford friend. After 10 days of non-stop architecture and history, it was a great joy simply to sit by a pool and do very little for 5 days. One of the highlights of our stay was discovering that my former curate, Rob Wainwright, also on a sabbatical, was nearing the end of his 2.5-month pilgrimage, the Via Francigena, the 2,000-kilometre route from Canterbury to Rome. He was only an hour's drive on the shores of Lake Bolsena. So we drove over and shared a delightful meal with him as the sun set over the lake. When we arrived at our villa, I found myself wanting to capture and reflect on the amazing places that we visited and the experiences we had enjoyed and the extraordinary art that we'd seen. So I began writing a series of sonnets inspired by those moments that had made the deepest impression on me. This became a wonderful way of processing what the Lord had been saying to me during my sabbatical. In my regular ministry, I usually find a creative outlet in writing sermons or my Wednesday Word most weeks. But in their absence, poetry provided an unexpected and life-giving means of attending to the voice of God. From Todi, we drove to Ravenna to marvel at its stunning 5th century mosaics and then returned to Florence before catching the train to Paris. There we had just enough time to visit the newly restored Notre Dame Cathedral alongside 2,000 other visitors before boarding the Eurostar back to London and then the Great Western Railway home to Cheltenham. God bless you today.